We will see.
I also got 18.
Okay.
I didn't even have to.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to We Are Not Things, the Path of the Fury. We are running Charity D&D to support reproductive rights, and this is our second night of 3. And we are here with our... They're heroes. They're getting there. They're at least escapees. But we are here to continue their story as they drive through the wastes of Avernus, trying to escape the Immortal and his roving war boys. Hope y'all are having a good time. We have hello people on the stream, and hello players. How are you all today?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Pretty
Living the
pretty
dream.
fabulous.
Gotta love it. All right. Well, we have some old faces and some new faces. So let's go around real quick and introduce everybody. Just say who you are. Sorry, my name is Angela. I'm your story guide for this evening. My pronouns are she, her. And everybody just take a sec, pass around the talking stick, I guess, and let the folks know who you are and who you're playing. Let's just start in order on the screen. Alora, why don't you start?
Hello, I am Alora. My pronouns are she, her, and I am playing capable. Good chow.
Heck yeah. And what is capable?
She is nothing if not capable. She is a tiefling.
She is a
Artificer.
simple woman.
Heavy on simp. Anyway.
Next we have Maury going down the road.
G'day.
Call him.
I'm Maury. They, them at present. I'm Australian and not getting any better at these intros, like at all.
It's only like the second or third one I've ever made you do, so it's okay.
Really bad at this. And I'm playing the Dag, Pallid Elf, Pallid Elf, Divine Soul, Sorcerer. I almost said Cleric.
There you go. And she has a son now, so soon, and not even at your due date, but you have a son now.
Adoption.
It's true. It's important. Alex, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Alex. Pronouns he, him. I'm playing Fragile, a little tiefling arcane trickster rogue who's very scared of everything and is mostly hiding behind everyone else.
That's valid. There's a lot of scary things out in the wastes.
So many scary things.
Lane, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Lane. My pronouns are she, they. I am playing Splendid, the tiefling war domain cleric who is really, really ready to be done with all of this bullshit and get the fuck out of here.
Yup. Also, Lane was very, very kind to accept the role of the 8-month pregnant cleric who has a negative dexterity modifier.
So, it's fine. It's fine.
I appreciate you, Lane. All right, Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz. I am playing Toast, and my pronouns are she, her, they, them, and he, him. And I am a half-elf gunslinger. Pew pew. My first time playing a gunslinger. Well, I guess this is the second time now. But yeah, pew pew.
Awesome. And our newest entry, often talked about, in fact, in the subtitle, but just now arriving to play with us, Chris.
Hello, I am Chris. I use she, they pronouns, and I am going to be playing Fury, a ASMR barbarian.
Hell yeah. And the Fury has already made quite an impression on the wives, which we will talk about. Real quick, though, before we get started, as I said, this is a charity stream. You can see at the very, very bottom of our screen, we have a line. It's a donation goal. We're trying to raise $1,000 to donate to the National Network of Abortion Funds. They are a reproductive rights organization in the U.S., and we are raising money and giving prizes away in giveaway style for anybody who donates $5 or more. You are eligible for a number of giveaways that we have in, and you can find those on our Tiltify, which I will put in the chat again. If you donate $10 or more, that's a little more than our base request, you get a giveaway entry in to earn these. This beautiful, beautiful set of Die Hard dice, Dracona Chaos Ether dice. It's a 7-piece set, and Tessa is currently holding them in a death grip and wishing she didn't have to give them away, but we will be pulling them from her dragon clutches as they are going to be a prize for one lucky donor who donates $10 or more to the charity, and that will be announced at the end of the campaign. So on August 4th we will be rolling those raffle giveaways. However, I have a special thing tonight. We will be giving away something very cool this evening. We will be giving away some of the... Let me get them up. We will be giving away some of these really kick-ass tokens for the war machines. Now, these are actually printable. You can print them out and do whatever you want with them for your own personal games. They are by Printable Heroes. Marshall at Printable Heroes is an amazing artist, and he is so generous that the bulk of his art that he puts online is free to access. He does a lot of D&D content, and they're absolutely kick-ass. If you decide you love what you see, sort of the little glimpse that we have here, you can find him pretty much anywhere on the internet at Printable Heroes, and he is also on Patreon. I highly suggest you check him out on Patreon because one of the things that he provides to patrons and things that you can purchase from him are variants of all of these tokens. So any of the characters that he creates, he makes like 4 or 5 different variations on color and style, and they're super cool. And at a certain level on the Patreon, you can also get backs to them. So if you want to get real fancy, you can have a completely illustrated front and back token that you can print for yourself or do whatever you want with. They're super cool. Marshall's amazing, and he provided us with 8 war machines. That includes the big trucks and the motorcycles. You can get all of those, and we will be giving away that set, a downloadable set of the printables, at the middle of session. So we'll be taking a break and we'll do a giveaway. So between now and, I don't know, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours from now, make sure you get a donation in, because that's where we're going to be pulling from. Anyone who donated from the beginning of the charity to now will be eligible, and we'll be giving it away. So join us, and that's a $5 or more donation, and you're going to be entered into the prize. All right, that's basically the gist right now. Let's return to what we were doing last week, which was totally normal and not at all stressful. You all...
We're fine!
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. So, the 5 wives, not the only wives, but the 5 prized wives of the Immortal, a figure in the hell called Avernus, calls himself a demigod, or the avatar of Bahamut, or the Platinum Dragon Reborn. He likes to go by a lot of names. He has created a small little kingdom for himself in the wastes of Avernus, and it is a place where he can basically rule over his little patch of hell, and his war boys are a war band of Goliaths that he has convinced that as long as they do what he says, they will earn a place in Isgard, which is basically Valhalla, the afterlife of champions and warriors. So they do what he says, and some of them have bought into the craze a little bit more than others, and they're basically a roving band of maniacs. You all, specifically Splendid, you convinced one of the Immortals' war generals, a little unlike the others, not a Goliath, the Fury. You convinced her that enough of you wanted to go and enough of you could hold your own, that you really wanted to try to leave, not just leave the clutches of the Immortal, but also just leave hell. And the Fury had a plan. At least one that she'd been, musing about for a long time, but had never really had the motivation to do so. And saving these 5 girls, saving these 5 captives all their lives was enough of a motivation. So the 5 of you snuck out of your vault where you were kept, where you'd lived for several years together. You found your way to the treasure vault of the Immortal. You grabbed a couple magic items. And then you made your way to the big rig, which is the war machine that the Fury drives. along with 2 Goliath warboys as crew. She set out across the wastes on a raiding party or something. You didn't catch the details. You were too busy trying to climb into the tank at the back of the rig. You all made your way into the back of the tank. You got jostled around a little bit. You accidentally busted open a crate in which, in a bag with a metal muzzle, contained a red cap, or specifically a madcap. A madcap being a small fey creature that, instead of consuming mortal blood, consumed demon ichor and has become a mutated sort of weird thing. And the dag took such a liking to this little creature with jacked up teeth that really wanted to eat everybody, had meat flaps instead of a red hat. You named him Max, even though his back had spray painted on it Thing 2, and you decided that he was your new son. So you took the muzzle off him, and he seems relatively tame. But around this time, one of the war boys heard something going on in the tank, opened it up, and found the wives hanging out inside. Immediately when the door was opened, Capable kicked him in the nuts. He spent most of the rest of the next few minutes trying to recover from that, but the larger of the 2 Goliaths, to be fair to him, Capable hit a very scrawny Goliath. But the bigger of the 2 walked up behind that his partner and saw all of you and was about to make action until a very terrifying skeletal winged fury showed up behind him and started a fight. You all scrambled trying to stay out of the way or get involved with the altercation, while you realized there were a pair of scavengers, 2 war machines, driving up on either side of the truck. And you've had a bit of a back and forth. Toast got grabbed by a claw, like the worst gashapon machine ever, and Capable broke it. Fragile tried to climb underneath the truck to get around and rolled real bad, almost fell off, but Max, the little madcap, grabbed her and kept her from falling. The dag ran into the tank to retrieve Max after taking some shots at some of the scavenger ships. Toast was taking shots as well with the gun, the magic missile gun that she had procured. Splendid used her presence, her shield, and her general gumption to interpose herself between her friends and the attackers, and she is on top of the tanker currently, dealing with a Goliath who had climbed aboard. Capable tried to keep you all ahead of the approaching vehicles and took the wheel, though she stepped away for a moment to save Toast. Now, the skinny little Goliath, who the Fury would know as Nux, a scrawny wannabe, like he's a true believer, but he's trying his best. He's not the worst of them, which is probably the most compliment that the Fury could probably muster for him. He is currently trying to drive the truck because his supposed friends or his teammates are throwing shrapnel and fire at the truck while he's inside it, and he's trying desperately to survive. He's also a little scared of Capable because they rolled atrocious for an intimidation and like to resist it, and she rolled a 3 and he rolled a 2. So she just barely got some authority over him. So that's about where you guys are. You're in the middle of trying to catch up with you're trying to lose this truck, or these cars, and they're trying to stop you. And in the distance, Splendid, you can see behind you on the horizon, tiny little shadows. The warband is coming. And they're not super close, but they're far too close for comfort. You have to keep moving. Or find a place to hide. But right now you're in the middle of a wasteland. So, what I would like is for everybody, we're going to go around and fill in the gaps in a kind of a quick pace. It's not going to be super initiative heavy right now, but we're basically going to do what we call moments. Give me something, either important or badass, however you want to do it, that your character does while you are trying to get away in the truck and get rid of these war boys. That there's one on the tanker and there's a few of them driving up with the vehicles. I will, if I hadn't already, let me, and you all can see that on the screen, but I'm gonna share the map with you guys so that you can see what's going on and you can tell me what you want or what you want to do. You just keep tabs on approximately where you are on the vehicle, but that's just so you can see what's going on. We will, let me pull up initiative so I can at least just call you guys out in order. So, Dag, you had to step out for like right at the end, and all we did was we had the Dag go into the tanker and try to grab Max, who was just like leaning in the hole to the bottom of the truck, trying to climb out, but he's a little tangled in some of the cabling down there.
So he's trying
to climb out. He's trying to climb back into the truck. He's hanging down and the speeding dust underneath is kicking up. He's trying to get a toe. He's trying to get a toe up. Can't quite get his little foot.
Yeah, she's gonna help him up, obviously.
He kind of snarls and as you just pick him up like a puppy.
Scoop.
He's just kind of staring, real heavy chest.
You know, if you want to get off, it's best to wait until after we've stopped. Language.
Okay, you hear a bunch of revving of engines outside the tanker as the scavengers are right parallel with the tanker. There's no windows or anything in this space. To see anything, there's the hole underneath, the hole that like goes to the bottom of the tanker, and then the door at the front of the tanker that goes into the rest of the machine, or the war machine. So, do you want to do anything after? You still have a little bit of movement, and we're gonna like kind of play loosey-goosey with the actions right now.
Can I poke my like head and like arm through the bottom of like the hole to try and see if I can see anyone?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and it is, you go down there and it is so loud. It's just roaring engine and the wheels are covered in spikes and they're kicking up dirt and there's dust everywhere. And there's two other machines, so give me a perception check to try to even parse what's going on around you. Your hair is also being thrown about in your face.
That's an 11.
11? It is... The dust is already sort of burning your eyes as you stick your head down there, like upside down. Your hair is like blowing in your face and all over the place. And the main thing you can see is pretty close to you on your right. You see the scavenger. It's a little sleeker, a little more bare bones. There's literally bones on the vehicle, like all over it. And you can see that there is some sort of little like gangplank out, and there is a pair of very big boots right on the edge of the car, almost like someone's going to be trying to jump on board. On board your tanker, that is.
Can I guiding bolt one of the wheels?
I'll allow it.
Is a wheel's radiant resistant?
The wheels overtly are not radiant resistant. But yeah,
Yes.
you can make a shot. If you would like.
17 to hit.
That will. Yes, that will hit.
Sweet. So yeah, Dag just holds a hand out and just almost like a sun laser, I imagine. Yeah, looking just
a searing flame. There's not really much of a sun here. There's just heat.
it's like when you get like a magnifying glass and like angle it so it like focuses in, but you can see it. 14 points of radiant damage.
14 will beat its damage threshold, so you do some damage. Didn't quite make the mishap threshold though, but you're aiming for the wheel.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. It's gonna try. It has to basically roll a save to try not to take direct damage. Oh no, it rolled a 2. Okay, so you hit the wheel. Let's see what it does. I had the mishaps here. More machines. That's the wrong page. Don't worry about that, you friends. Don't worry about that. All right, so it is. Oh, okay, so you hit the tire and it breaks up a chunk of some of the bones that are going around the wheel, and it catches a little bit underneath the wheel, and it tears a bunch of the rocks that it's driving over, and this huge plume of dust hits the guy trying to climb up onto the vehicle. He let's see, does not have protective eyewear on, and he is blinded until the start of its next turn. Not bad.
Yeah, she's gonna pull herself back up.
Did you make that noise?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
She's gonna pull herself back and just like
Kick ass. Good job, Dag.
Rusty.
It's rusty and dusty here. It just all tastes like metal and blood. It all tastes like pennies. Avernus just tastes like pennies. So, all right, that's Dag. Toast. Capable just saved you from the grappling hook that had you. And you still have your guns and everything. So you are good to try to do something. There is I believe the less damaged scavenger, except for the grappling hook, which is now broken, is on the left, probably within 20 feet of you.
Okay. Toast is gonna say, capable. Oh, thank you. And she's going to shoot at the closest one, at the driver.
At the driver? Okay.
Yeah. So let me.
He's already taken a little damage.
That is a 27 to hit.
Nah, it doesn't hit. That's weird. Yeah, that hits.
Damn.
Yeah, that hits. Reminder to everybody, these guys have an AC of 13. 27 definitely hit.
That's a 5 damage, and I'm not taking any ammo because I'm using the special bullets that.
You're using
not the
capable enchanted your gun. That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I can just hit him again though. With another 27.
God. You know what? Do you want to aim somewhere specific? Because honestly, 2 27s.
I just want to go right for that's one of his eyeballs.
Freaking sharp shooting right there. So yeah, let me. Okay, let's see. That's a 9. I don't think that's gonna do it. Oh, sorry, a 10. All right. We'll say that you you just get down on your knee to stabilize. That was the word I was looking for. And you get him right in your sights, and he is wearing protective gear, and you get him right in the goggle, and it shatters. So there's just broken lens right there, and he can't see out of one of his eyes, because there's just too much going on. You didn't necessarily hit him, because you didn't do a ton of intense damage to him, but you have seriously impeded his ability to do stuff. So he's probably gonna have disadvantage to any of his sort of steering checks that he's gonna make.
Hell yeah.
I missed
damage.
Did you roll damage for the second shot?
Yes, the second shot was 9.
9. Nice. Okay.
Looks like he's cursed now.
All right.
Thank you. I'm here early.
Fun story, Chris. It's the Fury's turn. So you are currently, let me put a little marker so that you can see where you are. You are currently on the rig, up against a wall because you got shoved by the big Goliath guy. And he is bloodied.
Didn't I shove him back into her?
Yeah.
Fragile also gave him a little zap, which weirded him. Literally was just a... You got this right, and then just ducked.
Tiny little winged tiefling with paws came out and zapped him a little with lightning and was like, "What's up?" and then ran away. Splendid, who's probably the one you've spent the most... You haven't even spent that much time with her, but you know her the most. She has just manhandled him back into you, and I think you have hands on him. And you are currently in the terrifying visage or whatever it is. So you've got your wings going right now.
And you said I'm inside of it or on top of it?
It's an open air vehicle.
Oh,
so
okay.
you're just on the deck of the vehicle.
Oh, okay. I mean, in that case, I would love to just throw him off.
Yeah, go for it. Give me a strength check.
Can I do that? Great. I would probably rage before I do this, by the way.
Assume you're already raging.
Cool. A strength check? That's a 21.
21.
If possible, I'd love to throw him into another vehicle. Maybe on the windshield.
Okay.
I'll give him something to do.
So he also rolled a 21, but if it meets, it beats. You're the one trying to do it, so... So what you can do, you see in the distance, probably about 15 feet back, but, you're all moving pretty fast. You could just hurl him in front of that scavenger's path.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have hands on him. Your prosthetic is this mix of bone and mechanism, and it's this pitch black thing, and it's covered in his blood, and you have it claws in him, and you just throw your body weight and hurl him over the side. You just judo throw him, and he rolls over the side. Tries to latch onto the railing, but doesn't get a good enough grip, and he plummets to the ground. You only get a second to see him do a barrel roll, a stop.
Oh, I don't even look.
Oh, you don't even worry about it.
Don't even look.
But he hits the ground, he rolls, and boom, boom, boom.
I hear it for sure.
Oh yeah, there's a sort of. The vehicles more growl than they actually make motor noises. Actually, let me see. Getting underneath him. Okay, this thing is fucking heavy. I'm gonna. So spatial alert, okay. Ooh, okay, hold on one sec. No, that was a nat 1 on the save to not get crushed. Okay, so the... Oh no! Let me roll what this guy gets. Okay. Cool. He takes 42 points of damage as he gets rolled over by this thing. But that also will trigger something for the vehicle. You see that as it hits the ground, all of the armor, the guy had a little bit of armor on him, but it was mostly on his lower half, and he got a little mangled in the vehicle. And you hear this really pained sound of the engine trying to keep moving, and the furnace on it ruptured when it churned up this guy, because it had already actually taken a bit of damage, so its threshold was pretty low, and it starts sinking back a little bit because its speed got reduced by 30. And it needs to be repaired, so it starts slowing down a little bit.
Dead bodies are really bad for your suspension, I think.
But weirdly good for a lot of other aspects of the car, as I'm pretty sure that not that you saw it, but I'm pretty sure the soul coin running that thing just got a little brighter. As it slows down because of the engine rupture, but a couple of other aspects of its handling are improved by it has more fuel anyway.
This is my version of paying taxes. I feel nothing.
Feeding someone to a car.
Yeah.
All right, so that was I don't remember the name of that guy. Sorry.
Doesn't matter now.
I dub him Mincemeat.
Mincemeat, sure. That sounds great.
It's a good name.
Yeah, I like it. It's unfortunately ironic. He I don't actually know if it says anything about what his name was. No, I don't like his real name. So yeah, Mincemeat, definitely his name. And he's dead. So, that's the Fury's turn. Do you want to do anything? You have some movement if you want. Currently, you can see Splendid on the back of the rig, grappling with one of the Goliaths that jumped on board. And it looks like Capable and Toast are on across from you, dealing with the one really close to the rig, the machine really close to the rig.
Just so I understand this map a little bit more clearly, the two red X's are what?
The red X. I didn't change the color. The yellow one is you.
Okay.
The yellow one. The red one is the Goliath that is on the tanker.
Great.
Splendid is hanging out with him right now, grappling with
within
him.
40 feet of me?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 50, about 60 feet.
So no.
No.
Okay. Then I will just start charging in that direction with my great axe.
Cool. The chainsaw great axe that I gave you.
Yeah, it's really gnarly.
So, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So you're you're at the entrance to the tanker right now, about to climb up onto the tanker. Actually, no, you don't get, I don't think you get a fly speed with those wings. They're just scary.
No, they are not in flight.
That is okay. Okay, Fragile. What are you doing? You're hiding, I think.
Time for another one of my terrible ideas.
Oh, I love it.
Fragile.
I love their ideas.
You know, gave the Goliath a shock. Kind of looked at the Fury, went, "You got this right." Ducked back behind the box, saw the Goliath get thrown, and was kind of going, "Glad that wasn't me." And then turns around, kind of just sees the back of Fragile, sees she's grappling with something, and just goes.
Oh, you mean the black? You mean Splendid? You saw Splendid?
Not Fragile. I'm Fragile. Splendid. Thank you.
Yeah, I got you.
It is 3 a.m. It's fine.
We love you.
And then
Thank
just
you for your
starts scarpering along, uses the bonus action to dash, and tries to get like under that other Goliath's feet to effectively just hinder and make it easier for Splendid to throw him off.
Awesome. So you're
Like
basically
pulls out a little
doing the
rusty
aid
knife,
action.
definitely made out of a key or something, and is just like jabbing at him a little bit.
Oh my god. Okay, kick ass.
Not to do any damage, just enough to be like, come
No,
on,
that's
like,
great.
dislodge his feet.
Let's see. Oh yeah. So you crawl under and you're just basically like jabbing at him.
Yep.
Okay, very cool. So whatever Splendid attempts to do, she will get advantage. Very good. It's the War Boy's turn. So the let's see, this scavenger is getting behind you guys at this point, so we're just gonna kind of drag him off there. So this scavenger is gonna get a little closer to the side where Capable and Toast are. And one of the War Boys is going... there's like... I believe there's 2 War Boys on that one. One of them is going to try to jump on board. Oh, nope. Nope. He's going to try to jump on board. He takes a running leap and does not get his feet on the truck, basically grabs onto the side and is trying not to be flung out onto the road. He failed stupendously. But once he does that, the driver's gonna gun it and dash, and he's going to like go ahead of the vehicle, and he's going to try to do that fuck up the thing again. So he's gonna throw another basically another box of shrapnel and garbage in front of the truck. Nux is trying to drive, and he doesn't do a great job. You can yell at him later. That's fine. And it just is gonna take damage. So the truck takes 14 damage, which does break its threshold. Well, you don't have a threshold right now. You just take 14 damage on the ship. So, Nux shouts out. He's like holding on to the wheel, and he's just like, "What are you fucking doing? I'm in the fucking truck. I'm off the truck." And he's like stressed out, trying not to crash. That is... Oh, and then the one on top of the truck grappling with Splendid, just to repeat what he said last time. Splendid, it is time to go home!
That's not my home. I'm not going back there.
And he's gonna try to... He's gonna try to grapple you. So give me a strength check with advantage. What'd you get?
Non-natural 20.
Oof. He got a 17. So, he tries to grab a hold of you, and you just wrench his hand free from you and shove him back. He tries to keep his footing. He rolls a nat 1. We're gonna thank Fragile for this. Fragile, he's backing up and just
also like
trips over here.
The front of her shield is also basically like boiling water. It's incredibly hot metal. It's still on fire. So if he tries to touch her,
that's a good point.
He is also going to be on fire.
So he tries to reach over and just gets burned by the shield, yelps out, and gets pushed back, which a tiny little winged tiefling is like crouched behind him, who she was just stabbing him, and he trips back over her and basically just slides to the end of the tanker. And we're gonna go and he hits the ground, has his hand on something, but he probably just runs into a smokestack that's on the back of the tanker. Okay. Capable, it is your turn, and then Splendid, you're on deck.
Capable looks at Toast, gives her another pat, and says, "You've got this." And she's gonna start running back towards the front of the truck. Before she hops down into the passenger seat.
Yeah, there's.
Try to kick.
We're gonna say there's a passenger seat.
Cool. She is gonna kind of look at the car ahead of them, and
it just threw the material down, so it is it's
cool.
About maybe 20 feet ahead of you.
Awesome. She is going to kind of pluck out one of the shards of her goggle, and kind of give it a flick. As she does, she casts Tensor's floating disc in front of the car. I'm not going to completely stop, but just the sheer force of it. And she's gonna slip into the driver's or the front and yell, "Scoot over!" and try to take the wheel.
Like half in his lap, and he's like, "Sorry, yes, ma'am, sorry." As you had previously scared him, so he does want to get out of your way. You did stab him in the face with your horn.
I did
before, so he doesn't want that to happen again. So yeah, he does scoot over. Basically, climbs out of the seat as you climb in. So you cast the floating disc ahead of them, and the driver has disadvantage to avoid that because he has stuff in his goggles. That was a 19 and a 5. So he fails to avoid that. Let's see. He failed by more than 5. Which means they take another mishap. Cool. This makes a lot of sense. You fuck up its axle, because you literally put it right at wheel height, and it just and like climbed over it like they hit a curb at like 90 miles an hour.
Nice.
And just as it keeps trying to drive, and the wheels lock as the axle breaks, and he loses a bit of control over the front. Until someone can repair it, they have disadvantage on dex checks, ability checks, and attacks. Dex checks and ability checks and attacks made by creatures on or inside the vehicle have disadvantage because they are losing control of the vehicle.
Awesome.
That is
and then
rad.
She's gonna command the mech to dash again.
Yep. We're
gonna say noom.
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
We noom and we vroom.
So you are going to get the rig to dash, and the speed of the rig is 100, so it's gonna go 200 as the coin on the steering column lights up with this furious, fiery energy. The eyes and the mouth all light up, and you just feel the momentum of the truck push and push and push. You almost have like G-forces from how fast it's going, and you shove back, and the one with the broken axle definitely starts losing momentum, and you are pushing forward. You are well ahead of these guys. Let me see if... Yeah, they're not going to catch up with you. So, you're pushing forward. Good job. I'm going to get you out of direct combat. We don't necessarily need the map anymore. But you are now hurtling forward. Capable, as you are hurtling forward, you see a wall up ahead of you, less than a mile. Nothing but dark, orange, angry-looking sky. You have never seen this before, ever. It looks terrifying. And first you think it's a cliff, and then you realize it's actually weather. and the Goliath next to you shouts out and points out ahead. Rage storm! Rage storm! Turn around! You see in the rearview mirror that there's two cars slow but behind you, and not the battalion, but the gigantic army of vehicles in the distance. What do you do? Or what do you say?
Get down! She just keeps going.
Fuck! And he just
She yells up. She yells up to everybody else. Get back inside!
Okay. So you all hear that. Splendid. You are up, and this guy is slid onto the end of the tanker. Having just tripped over Fragile, and you see that you're all gaining a lot of distance on these vehicles.
Give me a minute. And she looks down at Fragile for a second, gives not quite a thumbs up, but a little gesture of thanks before she essentially slides her way over to where this dude is and essentially uses all of her momentum to shove her burning shield back against him to push him off the fucking rig.
Okay. Give me an acrobatics check.
Thank God that was good.
Yeah.
That is a 16.
Okay. So there are a number of, it's not just a flat tank. There's a bunch of stuff on the top of the tank, and the momentum of the tanker starting to dash forward. You can feel if you didn't make much of an effort, you'd just start sliding back. So you can basically put your shield down, maybe brace it a little bit with your feet, and just have your hand out ready to catch something, and you can just slide down like a horrifying, hell Legolas, and just smash into this guy's face. And so he's trying to get his momentum, or get his faculties back, and he looks up, and the first thing he sees. Alora, sometimes I can't. I'm producing the show, okay? So I'm gonna see the chat when it happens. And Orlando Vroom, yes, thank you. And as the Goliath looks up, first thing he sees just hurtling towards him is this golden shield, blazing in the sun that doesn't exist here, and just hits him. He rolls an 8.
Oh.
That's a 9 to not get shoved back again.
And he takes 6 fire damage.
He takes 6 fire damage to the face. That's not really the worry.
No.
The worry
I'm just
is
adding insult to injury here.
Oh, yeah. He's got a sun burned on his face like that guy in Indiana Jones. With his hand, and just he just screams out as you kick him off the edge of the tanker, and he just disappears. And then as you're continuing to zoom forward, you see just kicking up dust as he hits the ground and just kind of comes to a stop. He's probably alive, probably not having a great time, but you're leaving him in the dust.
Yeah.
I'm going to double check something real quick. Yeah, the cars are able to not hit him too. The two that are behind you.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's okay. One of them's already been fed today. So you all are, at least for the moment, not being pursued directly within melee distance of the vehicle. We're going to say you're not in combat at the moment. You can step out of combat, even though this whole game is basically like initiative order, basically. But you all can just move about the rig and try to settle yourselves. You did all hear Capable shouting to get inside the tanker. If anybody reacts to that and you look out, you see the massive storm up ahead that you will probably reach in less than 2 minutes. Because you're going pretty fucking fast right now. So, what do you all do? Does anybody take Capable's suggestion? Anybody go up into the cabin and assess what's going on driving-wise? I mean, this is the Fury's vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine if everybody's off of my rig, I'm going back into getting into the captain's seat. So I'll
Great. So you're heading towards the.
Yeah, I'm gonna head inside and like nudge this nervous guy out of my seat because you obviously don't know what you're doing.
He doesn't know what this guy was part of the crew, but like he's only as valuable as he is not going to disrupt your intentions here. He doesn't seem to be fighting. He seems to be kind of weirdly capable, very appropriately capable capable of handling him, and he's not messing with her. He is bleeding profusely from the face from the jab in the forehead he got. As you walk forward towards the seat, you do see one more Goliath, the one clinging to the side. But around that time, Dag, you watch as Max crawls out of the tanker and just and jumps onto the railing, mouth first, and just latches onto this Goliath's hands. And you hear him scream as I'm going to use a madcap ability. Oh, that's not good. He's going. He just the word rend comes to mind as he clamps down enough on this guy's hand that it doesn't really matter how hard he tries to hold on. He's going to be continuing to fall as his hand remains with the truck. And he falls, he hits the ground, and it looks like Max got himself a snack. That wasn't hardtack. That almost rhymed.
Good job, Max.
And he he spits out a ring made of like a nut. It's on one of the fingers. And by nut I mean like a screw nut, not a peanut. I think I'm allergic. It's the mouth. So yeah, so ding 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 ding, and the nut hits the ground on the deck. So, Capable, the Fury comes up, and you're in her seat.
I'm not scared of her anymore, right?
You are no longer mechanically scared of her anymore.
Awesome. She like looks at her and she like reaches over and puts the mace back into the wheel to make sure it stays straight as she moves over.
You basically had the club on the wheel, but it was made of like a mace. And yeah, so she puts it back and then moves so you can get access to the rig.
Perfect.
You're also not 100% sure how this bitch figured out how to drive it because there are some very specific mechanisms that you have to mess with. She may or may not have been spying on you. Or at least paying attention to what you were doing.
Okay. I will be irritated or impressed on the other side of this storm, so I'm choosing to ignore that and will. Would I have an idea of how to best navigate through? It sounds like it's a bad idea to go this way. So, do I have any idea of how to best prevent us from destroying the vehicle beyond functionality?
Give me a survival check.
Okay. All right. 15.
15? Okay. You have traversed the wastes of Avernus a lot. To a point where you have some things sort of rote memorized. And you know that the shape of this plateau you're currently on, there are a couple of exits. You're aiming for the canyon that you have a vested interest in reaching, but there are a couple of sort of options of redirection if you have to. They will slow down the overall trip, but better than nothing. Also better than driving straight into what you know is a rage nimbus. Not great for anybody, but probably really, you're the only one that's going to get out of that unscathed, because you're always angry. That's your secret. So, let's see. You are currently heading south. Let me get you an approximation map here. Go with this one. I'm making a lot of editorial choices about this map, but so you can sort of get a sense of where you are. You are in the top left of the map when it finishes posting. And you are making your way to almost the center of the map. Let me try again. Sometimes it needs 2 postings. There we go. Up at the big monument to Tiamat is actually the monument to just the Platinum Dragon. So you're trying to get around to let's see. You're trying to get around to the pit, the green pit on there. Mm-hmm. And you're currently pretend the river is basically the storm. But it stops. Let me make a mark. I'll make a mark. It'll be easier. You have a couple of options. One, you can go through the storm. That's the shortest distance to the canyon you're trying to get to. The other option is making a veer to the east, where there are some there's a swampy region. Honestly, the closest there is to moisture in this place. It's one of the least populated by war bands, people trying to nobody really wants to be there. That's sort of the appeal of going that direction. But there is potentially there might be some issues getting the truck through. You're just gonna have to be careful. It's a little darker there. It's a little harder to see. There's going to be diminished line of sight there and potentially hazards driving around. The other option is to go to the right, which is going to be right past a garrison that is not overtly aligned with the Immortal, but it's not like they wouldn't sell you out to give him back to get his favor.
Okay. Swamp it is.
Swamp? Okay. You're going to the swamp. Okay, so you see the massive cloud, and it doesn't at first look like it has much of a edge to it, but you do know that if you go far enough east, you will reach the swamp, and there is at least a little bit of cover there. You might be able to use there's some semblance of a foresty space there, like what used to be trees. Hello, raiders. Welcome. Dungeon fever. I like it. So, you're just in time as well. We're starting in a new scene. So the Fury starts taking over the truck, and you make your way to the east. I need... What's your or actually, no, let me see. How many, you have 2 dashes left, capable? Is that what it was? You used one?
Yeah.
So it's up to you if you want to use one of them right now, or if you want to just make a go of it with the current speed of the truck. If you want to give me a perception check, Fury, you can see if you can identify how fast this storm can move.
That's pretty good. Perception 22.
22. Okay. It looks like you are faster than this thing. 22, I'll even give it to you for that. If the rig has a speed of 100, the storm has a speed of 40. So you can avoid it if you just keep going and be careful with your path. The army, or I don't have a good word for it. What's a good word for a mass number of vehicles, of land vehicles? A fleet?
The Vanguard.
That's funny. I like that. So we'll call it that. The Vanguard. The Immortals Vanguard is coming up. They're probably just as fast as the rig, if not a little faster, and you have to start going parallel to the storm instead of continuing to push forward. So you turn the rig as gently as you can, and as you do, you see that the Vanguard starts to get closer. They're not on the horizon anymore. There is another cloud being kicked up by them heading forward. They are probably within... Right now, they're probably within 10 minutes of you, of your location. As long as you keep speed, you can stay ahead of them.
Okay.
So, as the Fury is driving, capable?
Capable kind of nods. She's got that. Okay, cool. And like carefully, just like stands up quietly. And she's gonna start looking around, specifically the cockpit, for lack of a better word.
It's the cabin. It's the cabin, I think.
The driver's cabin.
Sure.
And she's going to look around for any damages to the vehicle, specifically in here. And if she doesn't see anything, she's gonna quickly try to head to the back to kind of assess the same thing.
All right, give me an investigation check.
That was almost good. 12.
12. Do you have proficiency in investigation?
Yes.
Okay. 12. Okay, so you start, maybe not fiddling around, but you start poking around, looking at, maybe keeping your distance a little bit from the Fury as she's driving, trying to assess what's going on. You do see that a big chunk of the armor plating on the vehicle got sort of, some of it got ripped off, but some of it is just very, very loose. You could tighten it up a little bit and try to reshore up the armor plating on the front.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and give me a repair check. What I'm going to have is... Let me double check what the DC on a repair check will be. You are going to have disadvantage on the repair check since the vehicle is currently moving. If it was stopped, you wouldn't have that problem. Let me see. It's going to be your vehicle proficiency, I believe, and we'll make it a we're going to make it an intelligence check with your vehicle proficiency.
Define vehicle proficiency.
You have proficiency, so add your proficiency to it.
Okay.
You're gonna have. I'm gonna give you land vehicle proficiency. So anytime you do anything involving the car, you're gonna have proficiency with it.
Okay. Awesome. Not bad. Much worse. 10? You said it was disadvantage, right?
It is disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay, so the repair DC it's on the thing. You guys had a damaged axle. Or no, you had something else. Shedding armor. Damage threshold is reduced by 10 until mishap ends. Okay. That's not gonna quite make it. But you are aware of it being a problem. And you think that you could do it with your repair skill, or somebody could potentially do it with a 15 strength check. Just to basically hammer and manhandle the armor back together.
Maybe when we're not moving.
Or someone who's just really strong and it won't matter. That's also an option.
So, the axle, it's kind of, broken. I can't fix it
They're
while
both
we're moving.
They're both a problem.
Yeah,
well,
the
axle
armor
definitely can't.
and the axle. Can you bend it back?
Who are you talking to? The Fury?
The Fury?
I'm just going to kind of cast a glance at her over my shoulder. Are you incapable or capable?
The Goliath guy is just like looking between them like, oh no.
I get it.
I'll stand up, like a big begrudging sigh. I will stand up, put the mace, I'll like very ungracefully kind of jam the mace back into place, and I'll roll my eyes and head that way to look at whatever she's referring to.
So yeah, there are pieces of the armor plating on the front and the side of the vehicle that are going to make it exposes the furnace. It's going to make it more susceptible to damage. So you can kind of like balance on it and climb on and try to shove some of the pieces back into place. You also have a bunch of scrap that you could just put in there. So if you want to try to repair it, it's going to be a strength check with disadvantage.
Okay. And I think if I don't get this repaired, our vehicle will stop or will slow down.
No, it just won't work. You just won't have fixed that problem. It's just attempting to fix this problem. You're not going to make anything worse. You just will not be fixing it.
Okay. All right. I'll go out there and try. Let's see. So strength check at disadvantage.
Correct. You're trying to get a 15.
That is what is 11 plus 7?
More
18.
than 15.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know math.
So yeah, you you watch as the Fury just like, this is the biggest inconvenience she's ever experienced, despite the fact that you just were, being bombarded by scavengers. she climbs up onto the side of the vehicle, basically just busts out her axe and like uses the flat side, just like starts bending it back into shape. It is still very jacked up looking, but she does successfully close the opening that was exposing the furnace to both the elements and to attack, and successfully repairs the armor. So your damage threshold is back at 10. So anything 10 or under does not damage your vehicle. Or rather, 9 or under. I think it has to meet or beat to do damage to the vehicle. She did it!
Okay.
Hooray!
I'll climb back in.
Alright, so
Take my seat.
as this friendly discussion is happening, what are the rest of you doing on deck? Max is currently chowing down on a very large Goliath hand. There's probably 3 fingers left. I'll save you all the sound effects.
Yeah, Dag's just sitting there watching the child, and then
Why are you watching?
to make sure he doesn't choke Angela. He's a growing boy.
Give me an Arcana check.
That's 4.
He's a grown boy. He's clearly a toddler. He's clearly in the teething phase.
Yeah. Just hanging out on the top, trying to like looks over and like watches as the Fury essentially beats the truck back together and just
It's great. That's how you fix cars. You hit them.
glad she's on our side.
What's Toast up to as combat starts to die down?
She's a little frazzled, but she tries to collect herself by going down to that little storage area that we were in the beginning. And she's gonna look through the ammunition and start counting how much ammunition we have and like
Great.
what kind of guns we have on the tanker.
Okay. The Fury added a few firearms so that you had some things to defend yourself. There's going to be a basic implement or armament of some melee weapons. Cheap stuff that people weren't really going to notice was missing. So there's like a short bow with, there's a short bow with, we'll say, 17 arrows. There is a basic musket that has 28 bullets, or 28 musket ammunition, I guess musket ball. It's a little janky, but it'll get you going. It'll hit something and do damage. And you have your pistol. Your magic missile.
I do have a regular pistol too.
Yes, you do. I think we had established how much you had last time.
Yes, yeah, I do keep track of that. I currently have 10 bullets in it.
Awesome.
It's also infused.
How long is it?
So you don't
Is
have-
that just in like just?
I only have a few slots. Yeah, I would say it's a select amount of slots for it. So technically, it's until I switch it.
All right. So for now, you don't. It's probably definitely useful for the others to know how much ammo you have. You personally don't necessarily have to worry about it. You just like kind of check the chamber, and there's this little bit of spectral energy right where the bullet should be. It's like Schrodinger's bullet.
If you want to use your ammo, I can use that for other things.
That's true. That is true. You can do a little bit of a cost benefit analysis there. Let's see. Splendid. You and Fragile were on top of the tanker. What are you doing?
Yeah. She she doesn't kneel down because she can't really do that very well, but she like looks down at Fragile, just like, "Are you all right? We should get the fuck off of here."
Yeah. She's like sort of patting their side where like the Goliath's leg went into. It didn't hurt, but it was enough of like, oh god, you have so much weight to you. As they tripped over. Yeah. Let's.
Yeah, let's go.
You okay?
I'm fine.
There's like a little bit of a not sure I believe you, but I'm gonna choose to not question right now. And they start sort of scampering down.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say she just puts the shield across her back and does her best to climb down the damn thing without, falling. Yep.
So you all start clambering down to the main area of the war machine. It is the rig is for the most part open air, so it's a little loud. The wind is kicking up. The cabin where the driving mechanisms are is a little protected from the elements, so you can all kind of like duck into there and all kind of crowd in if you want to risk crowding the Fury, or you can all hang out outside of it and just kind of get your bearings and figure out what you're gonna do. Most of you actually the Fury didn't like tell anybody what she was doing.
No,
she just turned. So nobody really knows why you changed direction. You assume it's like the plan, but you don't know where you're going.
She just told me we're going somewhere safe. No specifics, no other information.
Okay.
That is Splendid's second plan of attack after she gets the fuck off the top of the tanker. She's more worried about
what's going on.
Yeah, where we're going, what the fuck is up, but
so the Fury knew that it was a long shot getting out without anybody noticing. So, like, you were prepared for this sort of situation, or at least, it was not quite worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is, you're in the dirt back there with the cars charging. But the plan now has to be a little more improvised, especially with the storm. So yeah, you've got these 5, they claim to be skilled in different things, at least enough to be useful. You've seen a few of them do some stuff. You know that they've got some magic. The tiny winged one, they seem to be scrappy, if not a little capable of getting scared. The gunslinger can certainly handle herself, at least in the way it counts. She can definitely shoot a target. And it looks like that the mage, the kind of pale-haired one, has taken a shining to that goddamn madcap that won't leave you alone. So maybe she'll distract it so it stops bothering you. All right, so Splendid, you get down.
Yeah. After making sure that Fragile is also on the same level and okay, she will make her way over to try and figure out what the fuck is going on and where they're going.
Okay. You hear a little bit of, you hear the sliding door in the cabin open as Splendid comes in. Splendid,
Something wrong.
You see the Goliath also kind of just like hanging out in the corner.
Raises an eyebrow at that, but doesn't do anything about it just yet. Would you like to maybe give me a little bit more information about where we're actually going? Or anything?
You said you wanted a ride.
I said I wanted out.
That's what I'm doing. We have to meet someone to help us. We can only get so far on our own.
All right. Then where are we going? Are we... How... They've been asking
Ultimately-
me questions. Where am I taking them?
Ultimately, I'm going home. You can come with me. In order for me to get home, we have to get out of hell.
Sorry.
So, that's where we're going.
Where is home, then? I mean, it has to be better than here.
I guess I'm betting on that. I don't really remember.
Capable?
Is Capable still in the
Yeah,
room
you
just
can be in there
watching
if you
this?
want. Yeah, you
Cool.
can be there anyone. You want to do anything, or you just want to be there? Or you just want to know if you're there?
You can't remember it. How do you know where it is?
It's hard to explain. We all know how to get home, regardless of how far we may have fallen. Do you need something more immediately?
Not in here. And Splendid will, with that, will turn and step out of the cabin.
Leave me with her.
Like, Max, spit that out. No,
Be fine.
add Madcap. Stop it.
Say, well, I don't have a D5, but the knuckle bone of a ring finger falls out of his mouth. Got caught.
Can't eat bones. Bad for you. Yourself.
Oh my God. Capable. You hear shifting in the wiring on the dashboard in front of you. Like kind of like a scrabbling, shifting little like noise. Hard to ascertain what's going on. But it's in the machinery.
Doesn't sound good.
Wait, is it? Oh, fuck. Yeah, hold on. And the Goliath kind of scrambles up ahead of you.
Are we?
No, it's fine.
Oh.
And he shoves his hand into the wiring, and you know that there's moving mechanisms in there. Fury, Nux has been on your crew for a little while, so you know he knows the rig pretty well. You also know what he's doing. And you hear a squeak, and he pulls out this little mutated rat. Larry, you're not supposed to be in there. I told you. He just kind of holds the little rat up. Sorry. He likes to get around. Shoves the rat into his pants pocket. You go in there, Barry's waiting for you. He's got like cargo pants, and so there's like big pocket. And you see and hear like inside his pocket. And the Goliath kind of walks towards, let's say around the driver's seat. So
Me too.
So, boss, so that was the thing. All that. Not complaining, just, I'm I am confused. So we're not. Are we still going on a raid, or what are we? I didn't know we had like. We're going on like a sightseeing tour.
What do you think is happening right now?
Sightseeing tour?
Then that's what we're doing.
Got it. Okay. So what sights are we seeing, or maybe? Okay, better question. What do you need me to be doing, boss?
I need you to see if there are any more issues that need to be addressed before we meet the Nightmare Riders.
Is it what?
Check the rig, make sure everything is in working order.
Okay, it's rig. Check Nightmare Riders. Okay, cool. She's pretty good with. He like doesn't know how to be like, you want to help me? I just.
Give me your hand.
Yeah, good idea. Cool. Yeah. And he turns back out of the cabin, ducks down a little bit. He's a little taller than you, Fury. He is Goliath, but he's also scrawny Goliath. You're down a crewman, but you seem to be up a replacement with capables. Seems like she knows her way around rigs. So that might be helpful.
Okay.
Capable Nux. I'm Nux. You met Larry. And he pulls out the 2 rats, so you can see there's 2 of them in his pocket, and they're just kind of like, this is Barry. They're not gonna help. They're just rats. They're just a couple of freeloaders. And he shoves them in his pocket again. Which one are you? I mean,
Capable.
What's your name? Capable. Oh, okay. Capable. Huh. It's a good name. Good name. We gotta get up to check the tanker.
She just goes ahead of him.
Yeah, that. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. And, there is a tension that's almost like he's ready to clench at any moment, like you're gonna kick him again. He's just sort of like, okay, right, yeah. And you start assessing the rest of the rig. Go ahead and give me an investigation check with advantage because he is helping.
Thank you. $26.
26. That is gonna do great. You both make relatively short work of things. He seems to have a shorthand for certain things. So like he'll look at some things. He starts like kind of walking across the outside of the tanker, and he calls out to you every so often with something kind of odd. Like he'll just be like, something like field's clear over here, and he's just like saying weird things that you assume are like there's nothing wrong as he's going through. Eventually you do find a couple more pieces of the armor that's been compromised, and you do see that one of the exhaust areas that would ideally help you guys gain momentum is starting to get dislodged from the tanker. So you might need to tighten that up.
She is that beneath the rig?
It's like where the exhaust pipes would be, like on the bottom.
Okay, so like on the back.
Yeah, on the back. Okay.
She actively makes sure to kind of like tie herself to the rig with some rope.
Sure, absolutely.
And like rock climb, like rock climbing style scales back.
You're gonna rappel down the back of the track.
Yeah.
When Nux climbs up and he sees you doing that, oh, hold on, I got a thing, and he had like a chain on his back pocket, and he actually unclips the chain, and kind of attaches your rope, like kind of re-tightens a little bit, like adds an extra loop to it, and attaches the chain to the back as well. That adds a little more support to what you're doing.
Thanks.
Yeah. You good? He like basically has a handout ready to be like, if you need help down, or you need help back up, or whatever. He's just kind of waiting.
I'll shout, keep Larry and Barry on standby.
They know to hang out. Yeah.
And she starts to scale down.
Okay.
And she...
Go ahead and give me a, let's say... Give me a dex check. With disadvantage, but the DC is only 10.
For what specifically?
To fix the exhaust pipe. To like put some.
May I?
Yeah.
Okay. May I actively use mending to try
may.
to help myself?
You absolutely may do that instead of the ability check. So you go down and you just start casting. You can cast these small tears that are in the chassis of the rig, and yeah, you make really short work of them. As you you're pretty much done within. Honestly, it's probably like 45 seconds worth of work with the casting, and Nux is just kind of like watching over the edge. You didn't even go to wrench or nothing. Huh.
There's a joke to be made here somewhere.
I'm not joking. That was a genuine compliment.
Oh. Thanks.
Yeah.
I meant that I was capable. But... and
oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Here, and she reaches out her hand to...
Yep. And he is still a Goliath, so he's still considered one size larger for carrying things. So he does pick you up very easily. Scrawny, but still a tough guy. So yeah, he hauls you up, no problem. And you guys unhook the. You probably like leave the. I think the tanker is gonna have like this piping along it that you can just latch on like a zip line that you can hold on to the truck so you don't fall on. And
good design.
Thank you. I just came up with it. And so yeah, so you guys are on top of the tanker. So as you continue running parallel to the storm and the Vanguard is it seems to be staying pretty even, so again about a 10-minute distance. You let's see, probably takes you about 15-20 minutes to actually start seeing the edge of the Nimbus. And when you do, you can see that there is a canyon or a bridge up ahead. Over you see a little bit of this like kind of sickly green surface at the bottom of the canyon, but you're getting pretty close to where the nightmares are hanging out. Let me see. So you have to cross, it's just before, or no, you're going to the swamp. That's right. My brain. Whew. You're getting closer to the swamp. Let me clarify. You start making your way around the Nimbus, and you can see this it's another cloud. Everything's fucking clouds here. But it's much more desaturated. It's it's grayscale. This space. It's this. There are a number of places in Avernus that have a more of a, maybe not emotional, but definitely a mood to them that pervades the space. A lot of the aspects of hell have to do with the state of mortality and different things like that. So hell regions love to be themed, or they maybe not themed, that implies an interior decorator, but the idea that certain aspects of mortal existence can seep into a landscape and inform it, whether or not that was just luck of the draw because of the ineffable construction of the afterlife, or maybe something really bad happened, like a battle or some sort of celestial being died here, or like lots of things can leave scars on a landscape. And the swamps that you're heading towards are one of those such places. It is a place that, well, give me, let's see, as whoever is like actively paying attention, who's actively paying attention to where you're going? Like the direction, or like what's ahead of you, besides the Fury. Well, then I'll just let everybody, I realize that shows of hands doesn't help you, Liz. If I ever say, like, how many people do this, make a roll, just go ahead and roll, and then just tell me you rolled. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I would say she's probably, Toast is probably still counting anyway.
Okay. So anybody paying attention can give me a history check, or an arcana, or a religion check. History or religion, whichever one you want.
Oh, I have 0 in both of those things, but it's a 19, so it's not going to matter.
Nice.
Unnatural 20.
Okay.
22.
22. Okay, cool. Anybody else want to roll?
5.
5. Okay.
Oh.
This is not a place that has many resources that are worth bothering about, so nobody really talks about this place. Fury, you don't know much about this, except it's not worthwhile for most people looking for resources. Those of you who were kept under lock and key, one thing you did have access to is information. You were able to study things, even secretly, whether that's stories or the history of the region, or, hearing things every so often from somebody who is in the Citadel. But those of you who, honestly, all three of you did very, very well, Capable, Dag, and Fragile, you would have heard of places like this sort of decrepit, gray swamp. This is a place where a part of the blood wars, the sort of unending battles between devils and demons, as different sides. Some of these places on Avernus are scarred by that war, but long, long before that war, which is sort of never-ending. You can calm down, music. We're not quite there. Long before that war, there was another war. The Hells, some say that the Hells used to be paradise. And then devils and fiends of all kinds looked on with envy and decided they wanted to take it and overthrow the angelic creatures that lived here. So there are remnants of that paradise, or what you might think, if you believe that that's true. This swamp looks like it has old, broken, and long dead plant life, like trees, gnarled and sticking out of the ground, starving. They're basically petrified at this point. And the pools on the ground, these like dark spots all over the ground, are just this pervasive muck and ooze of either creatures that have decayed into some sort of like petroleum, this like sort of ichor in the ground. And some of these seem to be actually like shifting and moving a little bit. Like there are some sort of lower life forms that are just making this place its home. This might just be one of those places that died when all semblance of celestial power was ripped from this place. And it was enough of a wasteland that nobody bothered settling there, at least as far as you know. And so you're heading towards this this swamp of scars. You don't know anything particular about this place, but you do know what kind of place it is. You don't have a lot of like you don't necessarily have, the wives don't necessarily have a photographic geographic map in their head of this place, but they know enough to know the lore of a good chunk of Avernus. So the Fury drives you closer and closer to the swamp. And it almost seems for a bit that the Vanguard is actually losing ground. You all are pretty successfully traversing the waste. This is a very, like, sort of flat and straight-on area. You're only now about to come up against what would be, like, hazards. Fury, go ahead and give me a... we're gonna call it give me a dexterity check with proficiency. So you have land vehicle proficiency, so you're good with your rig. Let's see how good you are navigating towards this space.
So you said dex check?
Yes, it's an ability check.
Okay. So 16.
16? Okay. You are doing a pretty decent job of navigating the worst of the inevitable cracks in the surface of this space. Nothing in Avernus is not tectonically active. There's a lot happening around here, whether there are pits that just kind of open up unexpectedly. The best course of action is to just stay away from all the cracks in the ground. So you are able to do that. But after a little while, you feel like the truck is starting to lose a little bit of momentum, just because the ground is starting to get a little softer and give you a little... It's like the difference between driving on rock and driving on sand. Like, you're losing a bit of grip. So, I think about a couple minutes into driving towards this swamp space, the light around, the ambient light, stops being this harsh orange, and you start delving into that gray cloud of the swamp. So things are a little less hard on your eyes, but you are starting to have a little bit of trouble seeing, so you can like hit the headlights on the truck, and you feel like the truck is working harder to move. So for the purposes of the swamp, it's going to be difficult terrain. The truck is moving at 50 instead of 100, trying to get through the swamp.
You said how far do we think those the Vanguard is behind us?
They're probably about 10 minutes behind you.
Okay, so not that long.
And if you have your speed, they're going to get a little closer.
They're going to catch up at least a bit, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll just keep trucking for now.
Does anybody want to help in any way, whether that's lookout or assessing what's going on around? The truck starts slowing down to a point where you don't feel like you're careening wildly down the landscape. So you're probably a little more comfortable being up out of the tanker. if anybody wants to be doing anything or helping in any way.
I would say Toast would probably be a lookout.
Okay. Half elf, you got dark vision, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah,
Sure.
and I know the tieflings do and the elves. So yeah, everybody. Does the Fury have dark vision?
I do.
So you all can see as the light starts getting darker in the swamp, and you are able to catch glimpses of the terrain. Like I said, there's a lot of sand. Hold on a sec. You see a lot of cracking, and some of those cracks are actually full of what seem to be sort of like swampy puddles, or it gets everywhere. Again, Allura, I always see yours. Yours are the texts I notice. You all are sort of keeping an eye around as you are in this oddly quiet room, or oddly quiet expanse of swamp. It becomes a bit foggy around the edges as you're inside this cloud. You lose sight of the vanguard. Let me give us a slightly better tone. We're gonna go with
In order to help, I don't know if Fury might have a better idea if this is going to help than Chris does, but
Sure.
I feel like if I didn't want to be spotted in something like this, I would cut my lights off.
Okay,
so
you can do that.
I think I'm going to cut the lights since I can see to a degree in front of us. And if Capable is nearby, because I definitely don't trust Nux at the wheel, I would have her watch the wheel for a second so I can crawl out to the front of the rig. And I imagine there's got to be some sort of like headlight or something in the front that's kind of lower to the ground. And I'm going to maybe amp that up a little bit and cast light on it.
Nice. Awesome.
Hopefully out of sight of most of everyone, and then I'm going to crawl back into the rig so that I can like see the ground immediately in front of us, but
Absolutely.
I don't want to like cast light out.
I would say that sounds like something that you would have done before. So we'll say that you leave something basically strapped to the bottom of the front of the truck. So you can climb down. Capable, you're left in charge of the wheel. And she climbs out, just sort of nonchalantly goes out there. And yeah, so it could be literally anything. A skull that you have mounted there that you're just like, okay, this is the thing I do. And yeah, you can cast light on it. And as you do, there's this, I have kind of a fun idea though. You could basically create an object that then is like in a hooded lantern sort of thing. So you can force the light to only project down instead of all over and potentially blinding you. So yeah, you cast light on your little like makeshift hooded headlight, and it casts out in front. Is light 30 feet, or is it's like 30 feet of bright and then a certain distance of dim?
20 and 20.
Okay. Then
so
yeah,
20
you're
bright,
getting
20
a
dim.
little better than you would with your regular headlights. 500. It's a little heavier than that. Capable. It's basically a semi truck.
It's okay. That's okay. Not
a bad thought though. Ooh. A semi truck with an empty trailer is 35,000 pounds.
Yeah, that wasn't happening.
Yeah, but there are other things on board that could be that much. Honestly, that's one of those things where I would allow it to be used as like an assistive thing if something else was also happening. So you can hold it in your back pocket for future things if you need. I'm not gonna disincentivize you using the kick-ass spells you have. So,
shucks.
So, you get a bit of a view, and you can climb back up. Out of curiosity, she's trying to prevent people from noticing that she cast light?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really... Yeah, that's kind of my personal business, is my mentality about it. So I'm just going to crawl out there, do what I got to do, and roll right back in.
Yeah, I mean, you're behind the engine. Like, no one's going to see you from down there, so yeah, that's fine. You crawl back up, and Capable, you see that the headlights were turned off, but there is a noticeable plane of vision in front of you on the ground. You can see about 40 feet out pretty clearly.
It's a neat trick.
Fury comes back up.
It's not bad. It's useful.
Boss has a bunch of cool tricks around here. Great truck.
Not an open invitation, Nux.
Yes, ma'am. And
another suggestion, if I may. While we're riding against the storm, might not be a bad idea to kick up some dust so they lose sight of the actual truck, even if they can see us.
Do you have a way to make that happen?
I've got an idea.
Capable after all, then. Do what you have to.
I don't know if this will work.
Find out.
She's going to try to basically a little ways out from where they are, moving parallel and horizontal to the car, the rig. I can talk. And a little bit before them, she's going to basically cast Mage Hand, and she's going to try to knock it into the dirt, so it starts to kick up dust in front of them.
Sure. Okay. I see what you're going for. The Mage Hand itself might not quite be enough, but if it's holding something that can hook on, like, it might be able to drag. Yeah, okay. Give me a sleight of hand check.
Answer. I can do that. 10.
Okay. You cast out with Mage Hand about 30 feet out, and you're trying to just basically drag, have it just dragging behind. Okay. It seems like it does a little bit.
Dragging parallel, essentially, not behind, because that wouldn't cover us, but...
As you all are going a little closer into the swamp region, the Mage Hand is kicking up a bit of dust, but the ground starts being a little less dusty. It's starting to be a bit more... moisture might even be the wrong word for it, but it's not kicking up loose dust in the same way. But
Go
ahead.
It's not powder anymore. It's not gonna work.
It's fine. I don't really know if they are... I understand that you have the group of you, some limited abilities. Is this correct?
Something like that.
Well, you may very well need them. I don't know if there are any preparations required. I can hear them rooting around back there. But you should make sure that they are ready.
Me?
You're sitting here.
Okay. I can do that. Yeah, sure. You're coming with me. And she grabs Snux.
Okay. Didn't expect to have two bosses today. And you pull him along. So you go inside. Or you go back to the tanker. Where are the other wives? Rather, where are the others?
Splendid went back into the tanker where all the stuff was.
Okay.
She is she is looking for something, not a specific thing, but a thing that will do a specific thing for her. She is looking for wire cutters, bolt cutters, any sort of object that can be used to cut metal.
Absolutely. You can find plenty of random tools back there. Like I said, there was a toolbox. Somebody found a toolkit. So yeah, you can absolutely find different grades of bolt cutters or cable cutters.
Yeah, she grabs a few of different types and essentially like sits herself down somewhere and is essentially using them to remove the chain and all of the metal that's up around her horns that's all attached up around her head. So she's essentially doing her best to snip that and remove it and pull this weird fucked up metal barbed wire essentially crown that's on her head off of herself.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a strength check. Is anyone helping, or are they just you're off doing other stuff? As you see Splendid starting to try to pry these.
I was gonna say that the DAG was gonna go off and try to find Splendid at some point.
You find her in the tanker, busy trying to snip at some of the wiring that is. If you've ever seen a horse hoof kind of material, her horns have some of these pieces of wire that's like barbed, kind of piercing in, and they've just started growing. So it takes a little bit of effort to pry and snip things out. So it's a little bit more work than just cutting a chain link.
Are you gonna just stand there, or are you gonna help?
Well, I was gonna ask politely, so yeah, just.
And she'll hold out another pair of cutters to be careful.
Okay. Then I will say that Splendid, you can do your strength check with advantage because you're not the only one weakening the metal.
Awesome. Oh, that was way better. 19.
19. Yeah, it, like I said, it takes a little while, but and especially with the rig moving, you don't want to accidentally nip your horn off or something. So you stick to like the small and medium-sized clippers instead of just like full on trying to break big pieces. And this briar, this almost it's almost like crowned metal that the immortal likes pageantry, likes ostentatiousness, and you just by sheer virtue of the fact that one, you've been around the longest, and two, you're kind of his prized wife. He wanted to make sure it was clear that you were his, and so these platinum briars that are woven into your horns, they've been there for a long time, and they've just been kind of digging into your horns for a while. You clip the chain. I imagine that a few of the girls had already removed some of the chains and things that they had. And you and Dag start clipping the bigger pieces, and eventually you get a chunk off the tip and you pull out, and it's gnarly. This would be horrifying to put on someone if it wasn't just like you don't have nerves in your horns. And you both start slowly dismantling the decoration on someone who could only be described as the Immortal's decoration. When you are able to get a chunk of them off, you do see that Dag, you specifically can see because you're third person. You can see that the chains have left sort of imprints through Splendid's horns. They've been there for a while. There's almost a centimeter deep in some spots that they were just latched on.
Well, I mean, good news is it's out. Bad news is it might if it fixes itself at all, it might take a while.
I don't care. I just want it gone.
Well, there's the good news, I guess.
Thank you.
Holding up all right, and I wasn't super aware of how everyone was during the last fight, so.
I mean, they don't actively want to try and kill me, so.
Not exactly what I was asking, but I'll take it.
I will be fine once we get out of here. I'm as fine as I can be.
Okay, but like physically, like how he's
Physically-
like I got stabbed with a javelin. I was just wondering if you
Yeah,
also
I
needed
saw
any
that.
help or anything.
I'm fine, and I can take care of myself in that regard. And she just, taps the shield that's still on her back that's very large. I can protect myself and the rest of you pretty well, I've noticed.
I was gonna ask about how are you carrying that? Like,
It's not
I
really
don't think most of us physically could, let alone one-hand it. So
It's fine. I don't know. I mean, I'm used to dealing with heavy things. And just sort of looks down to her stomach again, like it's just one other thing that she's been dealing with for however many months now. It's not anything new.
very cool.
Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. This, as terrifying and awful as it is still better than what we're leaving behind.
Don't have to tell me that.
And she starts very slowly, taking bits of her hair and essentially wrapping it around the indentations in her horns to try and cover them up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, you can make some sort of facsimile of that, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Where is
standing off if you need help? We all know you're here for us, but you're one of us too. So.
I know.
Yes, you too.
I almost forgot about that. You're really keeping it.
Madcap Max wanders into the. You don't notice him until you start hearing clinking noises as he's trying to gather all of the metal barbed wire that you've pried off of your horns. He's gathering them up into a pile. And he rummages through the box, the crates, and finds the mask that you guys pried off of him before, and he just drop kicks it into the pile.
Yeah, that's the general feeling towards that.
He also throws the little nut bolt into the.
That's where that went. Just gonna reach down and pick it up.
You're really, you know what?
I'm
not.
Hell
I have plans for this. Capable was making doughy eyes at the Warboy.
I am not. You know what? I wash my hands of this.
I don't. I got plans.
None of you can speak red cap, but but Max is like, that's a weird green card. It's just a green card.
What language? Does Max speak language?
Let me
if I may.
Hold on a sec. Let me
The tag speaks
find-
infernal.
Max speaks Max, and that's
Max
it.
clearly speaks some sort of guttural red cap language. Where are you? I lost you.
Abyssal.
Not quite abyssal. That's the thing.
No,
oh, there you
cat
are.
thistle.
Cat thistle.
Okay, weirdest thing ever. I heard cat pissel too. He's
Yeah.
speaking in this raspy Sylvan. I don't
I don't
know.
understand a word he says, but I mean,
Yeah,
I like
maybe
to think I
speak so
do.
then.
It's like you speak English, but he's speaking Old English. You only catch a little bit of it.
Thank you for calling me out.
You're welcome. So yeah, he seems like he's just creating a pile of stuff that's sharp and dangerous, and it's hard to tell if he's trying to put a garbage pile together or he's gonna make a nest out of it. Who knows what he's gonna fucking do with this? Toast and Fragile have not been accounted for, but I have a suggestion if you don't know what you're doing. You two seem rather good at potentially being lookouts.
Yes, I did mention before that
Yes.
Toast was going to be looking out.
Fragile's not
you're-
super perceptive, but she's real good at finding things right in front of her. She's real good at investigating stuff, so
Great.
they were definitely wandering around, like, the rig trying to be
Okay.
useful by finding, like, any, like, I don't know, plates that have been knocked up a bit and, like, gently prying them open, see what was broken inside, see if there's anything out of whack that they could then report to. As much as the Fury kind of terrifies them, they'd probably tell the Fury, because Capable seems busy.
Sure, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
Toast, did I hear correctly that, what was Toast doing?
Just being lookout.
Yes, give me a perception check.
22.
Lovely. And what did Fragile get for investigate?
21.
21. So we'll start at the micro and go to the macro. So Fragile, you're wandering around, kind of snooping through things, trying to, you're kicking, metaphorically kicking the tires. You don't want to really go near the tires. You got real close to them last time. You find, I mean, there's pieces of, like, equipment and stuff that have been strewn around. You do find a piece of armor from the Goliath that the Fury threw off the truck. While you are in the sort of middle area where the harpoon gun is, you see something sort of small and tiny skittering around.
Just gonna sort of crouch down low and start moving real slow towards it. They don't want to catch it, they just want to see what it is.
Yeah.
So it's more gentle
as-
sort of.
As you do, you find this little horrifying little mutated rat. And by horrifying I mean, like, it has the texture of a pork chop. It's a little bit hairless, but only a little bit hairless. There's some hair on it in patches. And it has long, super gapped fangs, like, all around its mouth. I have a picture, but I'm gonna put it in.
I don't want it.
You know what? Better. You know what? That's not what it looks like. It looks like a hairless possum, because I just found a picture and it's delightful. It's way less gross and absolutely.
Is it screaming?
It actually
Always.
is screaming. That's definitely what it. Yeah, it's definitely screaming. So yeah, it's
Love that
this
so much.
hairless, this big rat. And yeah, so rodents are rodents are
God.
rodents, I guess. And so yeah, so you can you find it, and it's just like rooting around. It sees you, and it like walks up to you, kind of gets up on its hind legs, and it's like rooting around. It's trying to see if you have any food on you, probably. Most things are hungry.
They just kind of reach down and like kind of put their hands together so that the rat can step on them and they can lift it up and just be like, I wasn't expecting to find one of you, but hello. And there's just a mage hand that comes up to do the wave because they have the rat in their hands.
Mhm.
Hey. Did you find anything wrong with the rig? I couldn't.
Give me an animal handling check. Makes me happy. 6. Weirdly, you find yourself incapable of communicating with the rat.
That's okay.
So yeah, you can hold it. It's not going to run away. It seems like it likes being held. And so yeah, you have a friend right now.
That's all Fragile needs is a friend.
Just needs a friend. Toast. Yep. You are straddling the tanker, just kind of watching, just like looking out like you're riding a horse. And you're looking out over the horizon and checking all of the shadowy crevices of the swampland. And you catch a silhouette in the sky. You see like a flock of something flying. A little bit of a shadow on a dimly lit sky. And they could be, you're not quite sure, they're really far off. Excuse me. But then you see something on the ground, traversing the ground. You see one, and then you see another a little further off, and then another. Some sort of hunched creature on very long legs. Just kind of big, not a small creature, but maybe, I mean, about as tall as the rig is, but this just sort of hunched figure, and you see it walking on these 4 long limbs. And you see another one a little further down. They seem to be sort of interspersed around the swamp. As the Fury's driving, you actually get kind of close to one of them. And when you do, it seems like it almost startles it. And you catch it kind of shifting back a little, trying to right itself, but it falls over. And you hear into the muck.
Okay.
You're way past it. The moment it goes, like, you guys are going 50 miles an hour. It's just...
Yeah. She just
You're on
goes,
a highway.
Oh,
oh buddy.
But the flying things in the sky seem pretty far away, or are they like...
They're either
very...
They're either very small or they're far away. You got 22?
Yeah.
They're small. They seem small. But there is a little bit of a swarm of them. At least one relatively nearby, and then there's another one kind of off in the distance. You're probably going to get near one of these little flocks of whatever they are as you're driving.
Does it seem like they're chasing us, or does it seem like we're just heading in its path?
It seems like you are in their environment, and you're going to be driving past them.
Okay. Toast will get down for the moment then, and kind of report to those in the cabin, like, hey, the things on stilts, we're getting kind of close to them. I think I think they're not gonna hurt us, but like, just be careful, I guess. Also, there's flying things in the sky. I guess don't hit a bird. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good talk.
So that is what she reports.
Okay. Fury, give me a perception check. See how easy it is for you to see these things.
15.
15. You can see the swarms. What's helpful is because they're kind of lit by the back. They're backlit by the sky. These taller creatures are a little harder to eyeball. And you're driving focused on that ground light to make sure you're not hitting any of these larger puddles. And there are a few moments where you have to actively slide down the speed to circumvent some of these larger pools of ooze. And there is a point where as you're trying to go around one of these pools, you see a little sooner than you would like to react to it. You see a trio of those long-legged things near the front of the truck. Do you want to just plow through, or do you want to try to avoid hitting them? You're already pretty slow. Like, you're already slowing down at the moment.
I think I don't want to risk any additional damage, so I will slow down and try to...
Cool.
Like, waiting for ducks to cross the road, just...
Give me a dex save for reaction time.
Okay, sure.
It's
7.
It's vehicle based. You can add your proficiency.
11.
Okay. You have to slow, and you're not quite slow enough to like completely stop. So you are gonna have to like sort of meander either in front or behind them to try to avoid hitting them. It is possible for you to do so, but you can't fully stop in time. So which way do you want to go? Do you want to go in front of them or behind them? They're kind of, like I said, they're kind of crossing in front of you. They're like, you just happen to be going in their path.
I guess I'm going to try to veer behind them.
Okay. So you aim behind these things, and you hear as the rig kind of angles and the front wheels hit a deep something. And you can feel the speed slowing noticeably. You're still at that angle, and you're down to like 20 right now. Do you want to try to speed up, or you want to just like kind of keep going?
No, not going to speed up. But I would love to, as soon as the opportunity presents itself, to try to veer back in the direction that we just came from, so I can get out of this muck and back onto somewhat more solid ground if possible.
Okay. So, capable, since you have the truck sheet, could you be the truck for a moment and give me a strength check for the rig?
You know, before this campaign started, I made a joke about wanting to play the truck, so I'm glad to see we've come full circle.
Yep. How'd it do?
No, it's a 1.
Oh no! So you're trying you're trying to turn out of this divot or whatever you're in. You have to assume that there's you see swamp. You have to assume it was one of the puddles, and you're trying to turn it, and something is keeping you from getting the full turn to actually get out, and so you're slowing down even more. You're going at like 10 now.
Okay. All right. Okay, we have to think fast. I'm going to, I imagine, probably like slam my fist into the wheel in frustration, and I might crawl out. Yeah.
You see a bunch of those things like flutter away, like there were a bunch on the ground. You like scare them.
Cool.
Who's driving?
I would like to try to swing. I'll throw the mace back on the wheel and try to swing my head out or up high enough to see if I can get a good vantage point. Is there anything like a... There's not really anything except for these. How do I know what these beasts are? Do they have sharp teeth or claws? Do they seem wrangleable?
Give me a nature check.
Yeah, okay, sure. That's a 21.
So you're like, okay, we'll just, I don't know, we'll try to get these things to pay attention to us or something, like, or like we'll just, wrap them up, whatever. And you go look at one. Do you go look at one, or you just want to like kind of eyeball it?
If I can see it from here, yeah, I don't want to leave the rig until I have to.
You watch it moving, and you get such a good angle on it. Like, you see one of them, and it does not seem to be moving like any sort of beast you've ever seen. You're actually pretty sure that is a humanoid on stilts. Like, walking through the muck on stilts. As you are watching and staring at these things, they're watching the truck, because you're a giant fuck-all rig, like, meandering past them, and they're kind of glancing over, and they're, like, their head kind of quirks a little, and they start crawling a little towards you, and you hear one of them as it looks up, and you get a glimpse of a large beak as it starts like up into the air, and you see a couple more of them kind of crawling.
These are the big beasts that are next to the
big things, yeah.
They look like humans on stilts?
They look like humanoid creatures on stilts.
But with beaks.
And
they're screaming bird words at me.
They're screaming bird words into the sky.
Is it bird words or bird sounds?
It's bird sounds.
Okay.
It's bird sounds.
Cool. I'm just gonna cut to the chase. Do they look big enough to help us pull this thing out of the mud?
They look like people on stilts.
Well, this is just tragic. I'm gonna,
Toast, you also see these things starting. Everyone hears the screeching, like, cawing. And you see a bunch of these things starting to slowly come towards the rig.
I think we can we go any faster, guys?
The rig is slowing to 5.
What's the hold up?
The hold up is
moving?
The mud. We have to either pull this thing out or abandon it.
Okay, alright.
Hold up, Hold up, don't hit the accelerator too hard. I'm just gonna go check something out. And the dag's gonna crawl out onto the front of the rig.
Okay.
Would the mud be considered difficult terrain?
I mean, it is occupying... yes, it is difficult terrain right now.
Great. So the dag is just gonna constantly throw mold earth onto the ground and remove the difficult terrain in front of the wheels.
Okay. So, you're climbing down...
Because that's one of, like, the 3 things it can do.
And as it's starting to try to get forward... so Dag, you're like clinging to the front of the like to the grate on the front of the rig.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Give me a. I mean, I would like you to give me an athletics check real quick, as you're like suspending yourself.
Athletics.
On the front.
That's the thing I'm fantastic at.
I bet you are.
That's an 8.
An 8. Yes, capable?
Is it possible,
Huh?
having a little context for what's going on?
It's always possible.
Okay, cool. Can I try, before she is knocking mud under, to run up to the front?
You're gonna get down off the rig and start like trying to beat the rig because it's only going 5 miles.
No. Trying to get to the driver's seat.
Oh, yeah.
And can I try to rev the wheel a little bit and command it to use the help action?
Sure, absolutely. So you can that would, I don't know if that would help her hold on. But it would help her cast.
I meant like to get it out of the mud.
Oh, gotcha. The check yes, you can do that.
I mean, the check isn't exactly moving the mud, she's just more solidifying it.
Right, you're hardening it so that when she's revving, like when she's actually pushing on the gas, it's like catching the harder earth. I get what she's going for. Yeah, no, absolutely, you can do that. As you're hardening the surface, you feel the soil start to harden a little bit, and the wheel gets a little bit up. It's going a little bit faster. It's going like 10 now as you're doing that. And then there's a spot that you try to cast, and it's still mud, and you're like, what the? And it didn't get affected by your. So either it's like give me an investigation check.
Oh, investigation. I have no bonuses, but I have advantage for some reason.
Woo!
So that's a 17.
17. Nice. So you get closer, you like kind of you try to mold and nothing happens. There's I just have this image in my head of you clinging and then like seeing a stick on the ground as it's going really slow, and you just like pick up a stick and you start poking at it. But yeah, that's not soil or mud or anything. It's not letting you do that. As you're watching, you see like a chunk of it kind of onto the tire, and it's holding onto the tire.
Fuck off, Sacred Flame.
Okay, what does it have to do?
It's Dex save of 14.
14 Dex save. Oh, it's great at Dex. Wow. It rolled a 6, so it got a 3.
Oh, great, because I rolled 2 1s, so that's a whole, like, 2d8, so that's a whopping 2 points of radiant damage.
Okay. Cool. You see that, you hit it. What you're doing? Radiant damage?
Yeah.
Okay. So you... Oh, shit. Okay. So you said 2 radiant damage?
Yeah.
There's this little, like, flash of light that, honestly, it's like somebody turned on a flashlight in the middle of a dark room. And
it did about that much damage as well.
Yeah, it's a little blinding, but you hear this thing sizzle in this, like, really upsetting kind of way. And it lets go of the tire as you take that little pot shot. It's almost like it really doesn't like radiant damage. And
Oi, Mud, that was a warning shot, so you better not try that again.
give me an intimidation check.
Sure. That's an 8.
I mean, it's got a -4 intelligence score modifier, so I don't think you have to do much. You see this, like, tar-like mud just kind of, like, seep away a little bit from the tire. It, like, clings a little, but it's not trying really hard. It's like...
Thank you. Mold earth, mold earth, mold earth, mold earth.
Faster would be better. And you get up to, like, a 10 in speed on the truck as you're slowly starting to pick up the pace. And Toast, you can see that when the creature called out, there is a swarm of the flying things that seems like it is heading in your direction. Not like it called from that, but like you notice that you're actually on an intercept course with the path that the flock is taking.
Okay. Do you think they'd be close enough for me to shoot at them?
I mean, what's your distance?
Because I wanted to say that I grabbed the musket that I was counting bullets for. Sure. That would be 40 feet to 120.
Yeah, they'd be within 120.
Okay.
So
well,
you can
then
make a disadvantage shot.
Okay. Yeah, I will try to do that then.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh god, this is gonna be awful. 11.
11
to hit.
Let me double check. They're kind of small. They might be a little harder to hit than that. I think that's gonna miss. Yeah, that's gonna miss by a little bit. But you fire into, you try to aim for one of them, and it kind of disperses the flock a little.
Okay. Okay.
And when you do that, there's a little jolt from a couple of the stilted creatures, as you just basically fired a warning shot over the bow, and there is another out from one of the creatures, and they're kind of like they're kind of crowding together as they come towards you.
I'm gonna assume I'm kind of like hanging out of like the passenger side window while this is happening, and she's gonna yell out, "I do not miss a second time! Get out of the way!"
Give me an intimidation check.
My charisma is shit. It's
with
a
advantage,
7.
With advantage, because you have a fucking gun.
It's still shit. It's a 10.
10. A couple of them kind of stutter a bit on their stilts. And a few of them kind of break off from the pack and make a little line around the truck. And you can see that they can stilt through the muck and things. And Let's see. Fury, give me an insight. Or actually, anybody can give me an insight check.
I'm real good
insight?
at that.
Unnatural 20.
Natural 20. Hey!
Dirty 20.
Okay.
11.
11.
Oh no.
Fury, you're like, there's fucking
I have a specific set of
monsters.
skills.
Yeah. You're getting ready to use them.
That was 24.
24. Okay.
Nice.
So Fragile and Splendid, and I'll get to Capable. Fragile and Splendid, you see them making a little bit of a wide arc, but they don't seem to be looking at you. They don't seem to be looking at the truck. So you don't seem to be the focus of their attention. Capable, you watch these guys and you see being dropped from like what looked like their body. You see that it almost looks like it's like a ghillie suit, like a camo sort of draping, and you see a net being dropped from one of them, and another one grabs one, and they're heading towards the flock. They're not heading for you. That is what you noticed. You all can feel free to interrupt me at any point, but I will continue narrating until somebody interrupts the action. So, you all have my permission. Capable.
Capable is going to try to start steering. She unhooks the mace.
Okay. What are you gonna do?
And she tries to start steering the vehicle out of the way of the net.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a truck strength check with advantage because Dag is giving you that solid ground to grip.
Okay, not bad. Even better. 23.
23. Yeah, you're getting actual traction. You can feel the truck lurching forward, and you're able to sort of maneuver out of where the stilt folk, I guess, are with the netting. You can kind of go back around them. Do you want to keep picking up speed, or you want to slow down at all?
It's gonna try to keep it at like a moderate speed. Okay. Probably not trying to push the truck. Like if it feels like there's any like resistance, she's gonna not try to push it until she can get a better look. She's just trying to get out of the way of these things so that they can assess the truck quickly and get a move on.
All right. So yeah. So you can go like 10, 15 if you want, maybe 20. To just kind of shift out of the way. Fury, you feel that the truck is picking up a little bit of speed and you're getting out of the deeper section of the muck puddle here. And you can now see a bunch of these creatures walking, like stilting over the over this puddle, and you see this almost shadowy black material, this like ichor puddle that was there, start like kind of creating these little twisted like almost leg things, and they're kind of grabbing at the stilts as they're kind of pushing through and then picking it back up and pushing through, so like it can't quite get a hold of them as they're moving, and they are apparently waiting on this flock that's heading towards you. Toast, you can see from on top of the truck that the things in the sky look like some sort of like I guess there's some sort of little devil creature. They almost imp-like, but they have a bunch of like quills on their back instead of what would be like feathers on a bird. And there's a legitimate flock of them starting to come towards the truck, and the stilt walkers, you see two of them holding the net out, and you hear a ch-ch, and one free arm on the creature aims up with a like a harpoon gun, basically, and they both fire, and the front half of this net fires up towards the swarm, and gets over a bunch of the imp creatures, and basically like starts weighing them down a little bit, and you hear this ungodly series of screams coming from these creatures as they're slowly being weighted down by the nets. The stilted creatures, the ones that are aiming for the swarm, they're bothering with the swarm, but there's at least one of them that is relatively close to the rig. Fury, how are you positioned right now?
I think hearing Toast start yelling, especially about not missing twice, and if I'm not really picking up what these creatures are doing, then I imagine I would have swung myself up onto the top to help keep an eye out with my axe ready. So I am probably somewhere on top of the rig, especially since Capable is apparently manning the wheel.
Quite capably. So you see one of these, like, stilted creatures, kind of stretched out a little bit, not hunched over like some of the others, and you can see it has, like, this long beak. It's, like, sort of ebony beak as it... kind of, like, looking at you, making sounds.
I don't think I'm gonna take any aggressive action. Mm-hmm. If it's not coming up on me, I don't want to pick a fight that's unnecessary since we don't have time for that. So yeah. I'll just kind of lock eyes with it and not break the gaze until we can roll past it.
Okay. Toast will kind of aim at it in a kind of threatening way, but not actually, like, shoot at it. Just to kind of give, like, a back off, stay back kind of vibe.
Do you make any proclamations to make sure he knows you're doing that? Because he's locked eyes with the Fury.
Yeah, know? True. I guess she's just gonna scream, "Back the fuck up!" just as we're zooming by.
Back
zooming
the
at
fuck
15
up.
miles an hour.
It yells back at you with your own voice.
Oh shit. We got Kenkus in here? What is this?
Miss twice.
Oh, I'm very careful to not open my mouth. I do not want this thing to know my voice.
I love superstitious fury. I love that. This thing don't get my voice.
Nah, that's my government name, not on papers. Nope.
So
Dag starts making crow noises back at the Kenkus.
Toast is just, she's bewildered. She's mouth agape, but not saying anything.
Yeah, it always weirds him out when you do it back to him.
Back to him.
Yeah.
Stop taunting the stilt people.
And it just kind of watches as you start ambling on by. You see several of the stilt people starting to overtake the swarm of flying devils, and you'd think if you had like a net full of creatures you were trying to like hunt or fish for, you'd like stab them or something with a stick or like a spear. They're just using the stilts. They're just like into the netting to kill these things. And
Secretary bird.
Actually, who's closest? Actually, Dag, give me a perception check real quick, as you're like near the ground, and these things are getting into the light a little bit as you're driving past them.
21. Shut up,
you
Brian.
see that these like you see a raven-like face, and you see a legitimate like bone or stick assembled stilt with a clawed hand strapped to it. That these are like legitimately stilts that they're walking on hands and feet.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
Just like hanging from like the front of the rig is just one thumbs up.
And you see a few of them just kind of peppered around as you're trying to drive through, and they're watching you. They're not making any moves. They're just kind of observing. Capable?
Sorry, Chris, were you gonna say it?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Capable, where's Nux?
Not. Are you asking me, or is she saying that?
Oh, I'm asking you.
Nux is wandering around the center of the. He's not even paying attention to anything going on out there, and he's just like, Barry, oh, you little son of a bitch, Barry. He looks to be.
I'll probably crawl back inside if it seems like they're not threatening us.
No, they're just watching.
Okay.
And going about what seems to be their lives. And yeah, you just see Nux kind of like crouched. He's like crawling on all fours, looking around, like picking up things. And
what are you doing?
I'm looking. I lost something. I'll find it. It's fine. Not mission critical.
Okay, well, there are mission critical things outside.
Oh, is it bad time gone, guys?
No, you're lucky that the other passengers we have with us pay closer attention than you do.
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry. Sorry. I'll,
What are you looking for?
Barry.
Okay. I'm just gonna walk away.
Joel definitely turns and just goes, I can always help you find him. As they're holding the rat.
Barry!
I can always help you find him.
Barry!
Oh.
And he walks forward and he's just like, you found him.
He's just wandering around.
Sorry.
Friendly little guy.
Hold on, I accidentally pressed a button. It's fine. I fixed it. I think. Maybe. It was a panic button. I hit the Barry's missing panic button.
Oh my god.
So yeah, he comes up
Next to all the others.
He seems like he likes you.
He's nice company.
He is, isn't he? Him and Larry both. They're just a mess without each other. He pulls them out.
It seemed kind of lost. Just gives him a little scratch.
Yeah, not of his own making. And he and the two of you are like putzing around with the rat, and he kind of glances up and checks if the Fury's watching. I'll put him back in the little pocket. It's fine. Thank you.
Might be a good idea.
Yeah. And he puts the two.
This is a very interesting exchange, I think, for Fury.
Okay.
I don't really know what is this.
camaraderie. What?
Friendship? What is this? What is this conversation that's even happening right now?
And he's just like,
Joy?
What is this?
Thanks, little. Which one are you? I mean, what's your name?
Fragile.
Sorry, Fragile. Okay, thank you, Fragile.
Why do they call you that?
That just kind of looks kind of down at themselves, like, I don't know. Maybe because I'm smaller. I'm a little more nimble than the others. She kind of points at Toast a little more, because Toast is a bit more, like, built than they are. They are much smaller.
Got a gun aimed out.
Yeah, I'm a little more, finicky.
So you're
Sneaky.
more nimble and more finicky, but they call you fragile.
I mean, there's not much to me. Kind of skin and bones.
It's pronounced more like fragile.
No, it's
See
not.
this?
God damn
Eric is
it!
right.
It's only fragile if it's from the sparkling region in France. Otherwise, it's just delicate.
Sparkling delicate, yeah. It's just sparkling.
I think I'm going to, as Fragile says that, I think I'll take a few steps towards them.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more intimidating than I'm trying to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine it's quite a sight. But I'll step forward and get not like close to your face, but probably a little closer than is comfortable. How tall are you, by the way?
I don't. They're definitely on the shorter side of.
Okay.
I think they are the smallest of the wives, especially because
I'm
they
gonna
are just
think-
entirely skin
But
and
not
bones.
categorically small, not like
No.
Yeah, no,
I'm
they're
gonna-
still like
Okay,
a
okay,
medium
okay.
creature.
I'm thinking
Okay.
you're like 4 and like 4
Yeah.
plus.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I will step a little closer and get. I really want to lock eyes with Fragile, and just wait patiently for them to stop looking away. And then, as soon as I can hold their gaze for a few moments, I will say, "You don't have to keep the name you're given if it doesn't fit who you want to be. If you would like to be called Fragile, you should embody the irony behind every letter in that name."
The dog kind of tilts their head a little bit, like they're mulling it over, the same way that they've done in the vault when they were mulling over a particular puzzle that they were just invested in. And they're kind of just like playing with their fingers a bit, like nervous tick, and just sort of go, I don't really know what I want to be. Maybe Fragile works for now. The rest's a puzzle for later.
Certainly. It's your business, but you realize that we're leaving. If I can get you where I'm hoping I can get you, no one will ever own you again. You will be responsible for your own name and everything that is attached to that. You should have more faith in it. And I'm going to go back up front.
You just kind of sit with that for a bit. They don't really move much. It's like it sort of put them in a bit of a. They've retreated back into their own mind just to mull it over for a bit, and they just sort of stand there.
I would love to get this rig going a little bit faster than 15 miles an hour if that's possible at this point.
I'm molding it as fast as I can.
I can't do anything helpful.
At a certain point, Capable, you feel like you're on pretty solid ground. Dag, you're molding, but you're out of any sort of liquid or anything like that. You are now on some semblance of solid ground, and Capable's driving at a pretty constant clip. So it does seem like you can speed up. Capable? Do you have
The Fury comes back into the main compartment. I don't know if this is a good idea. I mean, it's probably not. I think it might be good to stop. Fix
Why?
Fix what needs to be broken and keep going. If they're on our tail, the mud's gonna slow them down.
Especially with all the different vehicles. Ma'am, sorry.
Where are the others?
Hi.
You can probably come inside now, if you want.
Dad's just on the hood of the truck. Or Dad.
He's just been like sitting on the front, like leaning back on the outside of the windshield. For, like, the
I know
past,
you're
like,
living your
3 minutes.
best life, but I would suggest you get inside before your ass gets burnt.
Yeah, Dad, give me a Constitution
It's a little toasty.
save. Toasty.
Oh wait, hold up. That was a check, not a save.
Yeah.
19.
19. Okay, it's getting pretty warm, but you're not burning yet.
I think it's like evening out the fact that I've just been in like constant cold wind for the past like 20 minutes. So yeah,
That's true. So you can climb back at your leisure. Now it's entirely up to you guys. I want to retcon something really quick. If this feels right, please let me know. But I feel like, did Capable actually say the fragile joke before? Or was that Alora? Probably.
I mean, I don't know. I'll flip a coin.
No, I love it. Here's the thing. I love it if she did that, because all of them bickering suddenly like a bunch of sisters kind of is a very charming little moment of normalcy that I think would be very cute. and the Fury is just in the middle of like, what just happened? Like, everyone's fine now, but they were all just yelling. It's a camaraderie and like a closeness that you probably haven't felt in a really long time, and for them it's just instinct because they're clinging to each other for survival. They've had to depend on each other. So there are these little moments that you're seeing of this unit, this little family space that they seem to be occupying. You can continue if you want. With you can speed up if you want to safely try to speed up, or you can stop.
I will give Capable a long look, and then I'll give a very curt nod indicating that she can stop the rig. We have to be quick. And as soon as she gets it to come to a stop, I'm gonna just try to see if I can figure out what needs to be fixed to get it moving again.
Okay. So you slow the rig down in a spot that you're pretty sure there's a straightaway that you can like pick up speed again when you're ready, and the rig just slowly, as you all feel the little bit of a jerk as it slows to a stop. And those of you who have to hop out can hop out and start assessing what's going on. When you, as you're all kind of just either taking a breath or assessing the rig, there's this little moment, there's again this moment of stillness, this is an uneasy stillness for people, at least for Nux and for Fury, who are used to noise. It's a little disorienting to have things be that quiet, you know? And you all just work. You work quick, you know you're on limited time, and you know that behind you, even if it is a big swarm of cars, and war machines, and who knows, maybe the Immortal himself, but at least a legion of war boys, they're gonna be coming. Because you all took something that value might be too much of a word for it, but he definitely covets it. You. And as you're all prepping, in the distance, none of you can see this. We're gonna pan real quick. As up on a cliffside in the swamp area, there is a figure watching, making an assessment of how long you've been traveling, and how much longer it might take you to get out of the swamp. Getting a glimpse of the vanguard coming up close behind and making some assessments before they get back into their sort of their own little war machine, their Devil's Rider, and peeling out. The Immortal doesn't seem to be the only one with some invested interest. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
It's Tom Hardy.
Nah.
Cannot. Sorry about that, by the way.
So, first of all, yay! Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, players, and thank you, Chris, for joining us on this very special episode. I adore the Fury even more now. Not that was a surprise to anybody.
To
you'd
no
bring
one.
Delightfulness to this. So as a reminder, we had a bunch of activity. Thank you so much, anybody who's still here from Dungeon Fever. Thank you for the raid. And for those of you who, Lane, thank you for resubscribing. If anybody wants to support us, you can subscribe to us here on Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, please take that Jeff Bezos money and give it to a small creator. Thank you to Demighty Moose, which is also an amazing name, NerdFriend54, and Bam Cool for following us tonight. You can follow us here on Twitch or on Twitter, and you'll know when we go live. We have one more session here tonight, or not tonight, this week, next week. My brain works, I promise. So we had tonight's session was session 2, and August 4th, next Thursday, will be the finale of our little story. Man, talk about leave them wanting more. I want to play way more of this. We'll see. I don't know. So we will wrap up at least some leg of the journey out of Avernus. And let's see, because I did promise this, we're going to do a raffle. Our raffle is going to be for a set of printable war machines, so you can use them at your own table. And I will put it up here. So here are the war machines. They, at least some of the war machines. You can also see them with a couple of notable figures in Avernus, namely Mad Maggie the Hag and Mickey the Golem on the right. And we will, let's see who is going to procure said things. This is a raffle for anybody who has donated so far, and let me run a donation thing. Okay, and rolling. Also, thank you so much to anybody who donated and didn't take a reward. We want to give you things for being awesome, but you're also very kind for just wanting to give for the sake of giving. And our winner of our Printable Heroes gift is Red Bowen. Hey! Congratulations, Red. I will get those to you as soon as possible. But as a little special, totally free thing, because according to Marshall, I was allowed to give these out also. Everybody who is here tonight, I will give you a link to some free Avernus content. You will get a printable copy of Mad Maggie the Hag and Mickey the Golem. So I will send those out right now. Hold on a sec. Let me put them in the chat, and then I will take those files and see if they work.
He doesn't make free stuff.
They're going to be right. Oh, I should have planned for this. Give me one sec. But yeah, they're really gorgeous too. Mickey's adorable. Let's get y'all a link, and then I will share the link, and it'll be just up tonight. I'll take it down next week, so just everybody who was in the chat tonight can get a handle or get a hold of it. Copy. All right. Here is the link. And please enjoy. And if you do anything cool with the free content, let us know. It'll be fun. They're printable, or you can use them digitally if you have the interest of doing that with Photoshop or anything. But Red, I will get you your kick-ass collection of 8 war machines, plus your choice of not your choice, but a wrecking ball and a grappling hook and a harpoon gun that you can put on any of those printable war machines. They're all interchangeable, so you can have a lot of fun in Avernus. Thank you all so much for joining us. This is a really fun group. I'm having so much fun doing this story, and I can't wait for next week. We are officially at $435 for our charity giveaway, and for something we threw together very, very quickly. I'm pretty proud. Here's to more donations this week and up till August 4th. You all have a wonderful rest of your night. We'll be here next week, same time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, here on We Are Nerdsmith. And be sure to check out all of our other shows. We got Discover RPG on Monday, and we have a time slot set up on Tuesday nights, hopefully for Goonies, but it's meant to be a gentle time, very different from this. So we'll take our time. You all have a great rest of your night. Stay safe, make good choices, wear your seatbelt, and above all, do us a favor and be good to each other. Thank you so much for your support for us and for the National Network of Abortion Funds. This is an effort that really matters to us, so thank you for supporting. All right. Good night, friends. Bye-bye.